Well, let's go a little bit ahead. Let's go to February 16th, 1985. Once again, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
But they're afraid to really come and say it to my face. I sit here with my back to you because I figured possibly somebody out there would at least like a chance. Hulk Hogan said something about it's the size of the fighting the dog. I ain't never been to compare to no dog. 'Cause I don't come from no dog. This says you kick Cyndi Lauper, and how could you kick a woman? I says, I'm an equal opportunist. A woman hits me, I'll knock her out. It doesn't matter to me. It says you took that poor old fat Slav Lou Albano, the captain. Remember the little tiny bowl man? I got a job. I got a little ship for you, Captain. Remember in the bowl where the boat used to go around? I'm supposed to feel bad because I kicked accidentally this woman that grabbed a hold of me, and I go and I nail this big fat slob who has been calling you all kinds of names for years, and now because he does something good for muscular dystrophy, everybody's behind him. And then I look over, and this skinny little geek, just this skinny little guy, who's Wendy or Cyndi Lauper, whatever her name is, her boyfriend, her, whatever she is. I took him and I power slammed him, and here comes New York's finest in Madison Square Garden. Policemen turning their badges when I come to town. And I look over and I see that Jimmy Snuka, he can't run down, you see, because my bodyguard, Ace is there. I loves my bodyguard. And Ace has got all kinds of weapons in his hand. He's got chairs, and he's watching my back. And all of a sudden, I see Dick Clark. And Dick Clark comes and takes 2 steps towards me like he thought he was going to do something to me. Him selling all them facial products. Can you imagine him do something to hot rod himself, Roddy Piper? The only thing you'd be good for after that is maybe playing the organ deep down in some opera house. You remember the Phantom of the Opera? The one with the face all twisted around. And they say, Roddy, how could you be so bad? And I say, even at my worst, I'm best. And while my bodyguard is doing his job and he's keeping Jimmy Snuka, the super away, legend of wrestling, in sneaks Hulk Hogan, like he's going to do something to me, huh? In sneaks Hulk Hogan in all his glory, but did you notice when he come in and he looked eye to eye, all of a sudden he stopped, just for a moment. Because he really wasn't sure whether he should come or not. I don't blame you. I am the legend killer. If you're drowning in a river, I'm the kind of guy that'll throw you a rope. But I'll throw you both ends.
Well, there it is. Another amazing Roddy Piper promo coming out of Madison Square Garden and the ceremony for Cyndi Lauper and the attack of Roddy Piper.
I'll throw you a rope. I'll throw you both ends.
That's a great line.
Again, there's no wonder or no mystery why that he made as much impact as he made and drew the money he did, because everything was different. You could listen to it all day. You never knew what he was going to say. You never knew what he was going to do. And we talk about his promos all the time. If you go back now and look at Piper's work, which was still, in those days, in the territory days, still different than almost everybody else's. And it looked, he had more aggression and more, animosity and more animation than almost anybody else when he was really into it. And, that's the kind of thing it gets over.
A lot of people talk about Jake Roberts' ability to talk low and not raise his voice. Roddy does both. He talks low and then he raises his voice. What can you learn from that? Because not everyone can obviously talk like Roddy Piper. A lot of people, Dr. Tom Pritchard for a while, tried to talk like Roddy Piper, but only one guy can do that way of talking. But in terms of your voice going up and down in a promo, so many people just, here's my promo voice. No matter what happens, This is how you will hear me for the promo.
Yeah, and I mean, I was always loud and always fast most of the time. But I would be loud and fast mad, or I'd be loud and fast funny, or I'd be loud and fast scared, or whatever. But then every once in a while, you could always change things up, and it makes it mean more if you're known for one thing. Remember when Paulie clocked me over the head with the fucking phone? That's when I geared it down and leaned over the fucking desk and looked into the camera and wasn't yelling for a little while because I was mad in that type of way. That people remember that more than the others because it was different. So you can't just be low key, or you can't be up all the time. You have to change everything up depending on the circumstance and how you would react to it if it was legitimate.